Hey, Vox here. So let's go through the best college playbooks in the game at launch. It's on cfb.fan if you want to look at the whole list yourself. I will say EA did better this year than I can ever remember as far as the quality of playbooks in the game. There is so many, on offense at least. I haven't really broken down defense yet, but offense, it's crazy. But let's talk about what you want to look for when you're looking for a playbook. So I imagine the meta at launch will be like man coverages, a man press, man blitz, that kind of stuff. So even if it's not man, I do think you want to look for playbooks if you're trying to decide on one yourself. One with like auto motions and QB runs. Those seem to be like great. There's some like trick plays and stuff. We'll get to those. Some double passes and stuff that I found that might be probably pretty solid here. Other things you want to look for are good runs and things you can't hot route to. So the hot routes have changed this year. We got like the return route and some other ones added, which are really nice. But basically, like you want to look for like special type of fades. I'll show you them when we get to them. Some sharp posts from outside wide receivers, skinny posts from the slots, and there's a few more we'll go through as we go through. But just remember, when you're passing, spacing is everything, especially with the switch stick. So number 10 on my list, it was hard to decide. I think maybe we'll do some like 10 will be part of the honorable mentions. I don't know, because like, okay, for example, Florida Atlantic, right? It has this really cool gun monster. Here it is. It's one of the two playbooks in the game with it, and like Gun Monster with the elimination of baseline, although college didn't have baseline last year, it kind of screws up alignment. You can audible to it, audible away from it, into other forms, and FAU ain't got let's say problems going into other shotgun sets. Now, you might be saying like, yo, Fox, what's going on? Not a lot of under center, single back stuff. I just think with the timing on gun, it's a lot easier. You catch the ball and then you can throw it quicker if you're under the blitz. Whereas like, you know, in the single back, there's that drop back and frequently if they send one more than you're blocking, you can't get the ball off in time. So it just feels like the gun and what you can do out of it is more powerful. So you won't see a lot of under center forms. You'll see some pistol stuff we'll talk about. Number 10 honorable mentions. I liked Maryland. Liberty had some nice pistol stuff. Memphis, Kentucky, Ohio State was nasty. I like that. Maryland, really good. I said Maryland twice. I like Notre Dame, UAB, Arkansas State, Houston. All great. Okay, so my other number 10, though, I want to talk about this one specifically as my actual number 10 outside of the honorable mentions. This is going to be not Air Force, but Air Raid. What I like about the Air Raid, it is a lot of split back formations, especially here. A lot of unique things that you can't do in other spots. Now, the split back formations, I feel like are only powerful when you can run the ball to either side. Like some of them only have, like you can only run it to the left. And that one, it's unfortunate because you'll see a lot of this during this breakdown of this video. Like, it's the same thing with, like, auto motion routes. You want auto motion routes not to do the same thing every play. If just auto motion and stop every time, then there's no mix-up. You want the auto motion like a streak. Auto motion and return. So, like, a lot of what your scheme needs to be is to play off each other. Like, right here, run left, run right. There's a power, so run right also. Then you have, I don't even know how this one will bend and how long it'll take, but you can always like stem stuff down. This is a nice sharp post. Like I said, sharp posts from the outside is something that is worth looking forward to. Now this one's kind of like a deep or in like a modified one. That one we'll see. A little bit slower, which I don't love. I do love the sharp break because sharp breaks are how you beat man coverage. And man coverage is to be something you want to look into beating. See, like this one, for example, split backs blue rip only has a run to the left. So you have to flip the formation and it gives a tell away to the defense what you want to do. So I don't like this one as much. But then you have like stuff like gun ace. This one, what else did I really like in this playbook? It is basically a 2 halfback playbook god. And let's get to the other 2 halfback sets. When you got gun, this is kind of like a trips formation, with some nice routes like this. Oh, 4 verticals. Wait, that's not 4 verticals. This is the 4 verticals. 4 verticals out of trips is always powerful. As you know, a lot of times you can like kind of hit the seam shot against cover 3, cover 2. It's like a 1-play touchdown, that kind of stuff. Got some swing passes, F push, 0 RPO. RPOs this year, I heard you can hot route them too, which actually adds to the powerful level level, which is what the power level, which is why you'll see me talk a lot about the RPOs you see in here. So I'm not going to go through too much more of this playbook since this is number 10, and we got a lot more like really crazy stuff to come. Okay, number 9 on my list is going to be BYU, the Cougars. So not much single back, power eye, pistol. We're very big fans of this. So I want to go through, first of all, trips tight end, I guess will be the first one we look into. The problem with the trips tight end here, and frequently why you'll see me, like why I don't love this trips tight end, while it's kind of cool, since the QB G down, right? Something up, G down. That's backwards. We want, but I like the speed option. I don't like this trips because it doesn't have 4 verticals. We just talked about my love of it. So you need something. And that middle route and 4 verticals gets to such a sensitive area. You think it's like, after not brushing your teeth for a little bit, they get a little sensitive. Okay. Anyways, there's some interesting stuff, but overall, this trips formation is not quite like we want to see it. So let's go back to the BYU. The things that I do like, though, Y off trio close. This one's hot. 0-1 trap, counter, Y, inside zone, motion inside zone. That motion plays off motion mesh rail, which is like a nice one because like in man coverage, the thing about the auto motions and why, I guess I should explain this off the top, why I like it so much, because in this game there's a little glitch. If they're in man coverage and they're following you, near the snap of the ball, the defender like slows down and like it like almost plays the run a bit. So that motion mesh rail, when it's going out there, it's basically a free release against man coverage to get people out of that scheme. So that way they have to devote more resources, either the user over here or a zone or whatever, to stop that. And any way you can take away 2 resources for the price of 1, that's a benefit to the offense. And then the double whammy on top of this is the motion rail. You're not going to see this very often. You can see a little bit in the playbooks I highlight since I was looking for it. It motions and then it comes back across, right? So like they'll devote all that stuff. Say they have a zone over here to stop you deep. Well, guess what? Bada bing, bada boom. It's a back in crosser fade. And then you even have other guys you can hot route to, other routes for other check down options. Is you almost always want a check down option. In college football, the way you move the ball is by throwing it short, making a guy miss with your left stick or your spin, stuff like that. And then like they'll start to play up and then you can pop them over the top. But if your entire offense is predicated on trying to hit over routes, aka crossers, posts, that kind of stuff, your offense is going to be bad. It's really not going to work very well with how fierce the pass rush can be with some of the blitzes that we can send at you, overload you, confuse you. And then obviously on top of it, and why it's such a powerful formation, why I like it, is it got RPOs off of it, right? RPO, zone alert bubble. Now maybe I prefer it off like Y getting the zone alert bubble. And then like I guess motion, and then boom, it's another RPO that way, right? So like the motion, your main play will be this mesh rail, and then you're going to throw them for a loop. When your motion goes over there, they sprint over there, they dedicate resources over here, then boom, it goes back the other way. So that's huge. The fact that it has some pretty good runs along with the motion mesh rail that you can take advantage of with the defense is a really good formation in my opinion. Next up on BYU is, let's go back to BYU. I also really like, and these are things that you can like audible to. You can come out with a standard and then switch over and then they don't know what's going on. Normal Y off close. Normal Y off close. They also have weak in the other Y off, but this one, jet touch pass, inside zone. And then I really like Y sail. When I talked earlier at the top of this video about very specific fade routes, this is it, right? This is that very specific fade route. It goes out, it clears out deep thirds, deep quarters because it kind of fades to it. So that's a really nice route. You can run the stock. You can put this guy in a drag, this guy in a zig, depending on what you're going against. Super good stuff right there for that basically specific. Plus, tight end wheel, and plus you can clear it out to get that wheel in behind it. Tight end corners, the double slant, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of different things you can do out of this formation. So even though it's not the best normal Y off close, there is definitely better normal Y off close in this game. And I think we'll see a few that it still offers you some solid stuff. And then one more out of BYU, I think that is really nice that you got. And don't get me wrong, there's more in here, but I'm going to go through some of the highlights in each of these playbooks. But there's definitely more that you can add to your scheme. Split close. We don't really see a lot of gun split closes anymore. This used to be the meta. Man, I'd take it back to like 15 era. I love split close. I think it became really meta in 16. It got kind of nerfed a little bit, but close halfback wheel. The post pattern here, like I talked about, slots with skinny posts, you don't see that much. You can't really hot route to it that often, but it's a pretty nice thing because you can bomb like cover 3 with it, obviously cover 2 with it. So split close, another dual back. You can go triple option left, read option, fullback inside, halfback power, so you can go right or left on your runs, along with angle routes. But a lot of this stuff, I'm not going to go too much to it because you can hot route. Obviously, you can't hot route to like these, I guess, corner sits. We have post sits, but not corner sits. I believe post sits made it in college. I know for a fact they're in Madden because I, just played that beta as the most recent one. All right, that's number 9. Sorry, I'm belaboring the point. Hey, let me know in the comments also if you guys want me to do an ebook. I'm going to do a free ebook here off the top. Become a member of the channel. We'll be doing more ebooks through the year, both college and Madden. Number 8, in my opinion, is Penn State. Penn State for these Wildcat formations. I don't know if they're going to be insanely good, but they're all new. As you see, they say new in 26. They're all new, and they can provide you quite a lot. QB wrap, QB power, QB zone. This is QB wrap. I went up, like power read is right there. QB sweep. So there's a lot of different things you do. RPO, alert, Y flat. Like I talked about at the top, I think QB runs are going to be very good. The issue is wear and tear. But if you go in the Wildcat, you can kind of put anybody there if you don't have like a quality scrambling backup quarterback. So Wildcats are really nice. They also, it's a Wildcat wing flex. They have multiple Wildcats you can go to. You can even throw out of them. Depending on like the attributes of the guy that you have at quarterback, but you can do a lot of like nasty things at a Wildcat in Penn State, and I think that's going to be important. Next up on Penn State, I really like their gun bunch strong wide. This, like I said, those fade routes, they got 2 interesting streak routes that you can't audible to. This one on the interior, this one right here. So you can bomb coverages, then you have other guys you can do. This one's a square up, but these stopped beating man a long time ago, which I don't know why. I don't know why they take away some of our weapons against man coverage so frequently. But then they have, obviously, the motion, either bench, return, that kind of stuff. To allow you to, but the only thing it's missing is that motion and then streak. The motion streak is pretty nice, but they got some other stuff that can work, but isn't as like unique and stuff you can't hot route to in that formation. Obviously, they also have normal Y off. Normal Y off. We did normal Y off close in the last playbook in BYU. In Penn State, though, they do have that motion PA seam wheel. And then they got like a nice little sit route right here. If you want to take that motion off and do whatever, you can like flat route, streak route. So the streak will take care of that hook, and then the flat route will take care of a flat, and this kind of sits in a nice spot. This one will probably get covered no matter what, so you probably want to change that maybe to like a over route right there. And then you have obviously this one too, which if you want to do whatever, but the motion RPO read Y flat. So a lot of things that build off the motion, like we talked about. It's important for keeping a defense honest so they can't just sit on your plays. Y off trips out of Penn State right here. I like this too. I like it because I like this 4 verticals. And then like what's nice about this 4 verticals is, say it's like 4th and 14, throw the 4 verticals, and then the running back on a wheel route behind it, it gets into a really sensitive area, right? It's converted a lot. That play alone is converted a lot of desperate situations for me because people don't, unless you're spamming it, people don't really look for the running back wheel route. But then they have this really nice, like I talked about, sharp post from the outside. You can clear it out either with the slot or the tight end, and then you got guys coming under. The running back, you can do whatever you want, angle route depending on your options there. RPO bubble Y pop. You can pop it out to this guy on the bubble. You can throw the Y pop right away. If they're abandoning the seam streak. Seam streaks are very important. Don't forget to throw seam streaks. So when I say seam streaks, seams are like in the middle. I don't know. They're like in the middle of the zones, and then like you just throw them quick, right between zones. Like say that there's like a cover 3, so like this guy's in the middle. You can pop it out to here. If there's no hook zone there playing it or user. And then obviously RPO read by flat, which was like the meta last year. It gets played a lot better, especially people know what they're doing. But it like against man coverage, it's not great, but it gets played a lot. It's still really good against a lot of zones and stuff. So absolute awesome formation. You can run left, you can run right. You can even counter left if people expect you to run right. Tight end wheel. So there's a lot of nastiness in this play, but Penn State, and you will win a lot of games with this one. Next up on the list, and here's the thing: is like some of these playbooks, some of them will vibe with you and some of them won't. I'm not going to say my number 7 is going to be better than number 8, right? You might win more games with Penn State than you will with Oregon State. My number 7 trips. Once again, more gun. What I like about this is this double pass. So I have not tested it outside of the beta. I gave feedback during my beta, and I don't know how much. This double rail, this was bombing coverages on the early build of the game. So it might bomb it again. Make sure you have a good thrower right here, though. But you might just be able to, like, one-play bomb all this double pass rail is in a bunch of different books, though. The reason why I liked Oregon State is the fact that it has some other good formations to go along with it. But being able to build a scheme off double pass rail, and then, like, you have other plays in this playbook, so you don't have to use that. It's not like a one-play thing. You can speed option. You can run. Like, there's nothing, like, super special that you can't hot route to here. Like, even their 4 verticals in this formation really sucks. These choice routes. Choice routes, it's kind of like, you know, that bad friend. You know they're always going to make the bad choices. Your parents warn you about it. Let me be your parent. Let me warn you about choice routes in Madden. They will let you down so often. But it's got a nice slot wheel. Slot wheels were taken out of the game for slot fades. So that one's unique now that you can't see it no more. That's a solid formation. And then, like, they have other good ones. We talked about normal Y off before. Now, just because it has normal Y off does not mean it's a good normal Y off. But it does have some nice jet touch passes. Sail routes are always powerful, but that's not something you can't hot route to. So while it does have other good forms, Y off trips, yep, double post, that's really nice. So it does have some really good stuff in it still, but I just wanted to highlight the double pass out of Oregon State to make number 7. Number 6 is going to be Georgia Southern. Not the Georgia, but the South Georgia. I don't think Georgia could get any more Southern. Am I right? A-slot offset. We won't go any further with that joke. A-slot offset, love it, dude. Posts, always a good play, right? Got a tight end that can beat man. Got a slot that can beat man, unless they've shitted you crazy. Got this post that can beat man generally. It also depends on your receivers, angle route. So while you can hot route to a lot of these things now, except for slot corners are always really bad because they don't have man-beating angles, but this one does, and that's why it's special. So depending on the depth at which you hot route your player, like, right, wide receiver posts and corners are not great man beaters, but tight end corners, really great man beaters. Tight end slants, insanely good man beaters. So you gotta be able to beat men if you want to be able to win in Madden. Okay, so when in doubt, just beat men. QB draw, not that great, right? We looked at that stuff. All right, let's go to the other ones that I actually liked. I want to talk about some things are great. I like their empty base. That was it. Empty base. What I like about this is the jet touch plus the other ones that you kind of like screw them up on. Orbit Y cross if you do the same thing, but then like, oh, boom, their user's going to run over here because you got 3 guys to block for him, but then you'll be able to throw a slant across their face. There's the orbit wide receiver swing, and then 4 verticals, always great. And then I think, was there a QB run I liked in here? Where's the QB draw? There was definitely, yeah, QB draw I said I like, I don't love. There wasn't, huh? Interesting. So I just like kind of like the motions more than anything else. The motions in the play on 5 wide. Since I got a better 5 wide, I think my day 1 offense is coming up. But it's got a lot of 5 wide in it, so it might not be for everybody. Georgia Southern also had normal Y off close. It was a good normal Y off close. Lot of cool things here with auto motion, RPOs, Y sail. Y sail is good enough. Wheel switch. I love this hook pattern right here. Love it. You can leave it on the field, and then have the tight end clear it out for like 3rd and 4 conversions. Have this guy here, hook this guy, out route this guy, then you kind of play the coverage and just throw it to where it is. The only thing you'll lose to is like cover 2. But like say it's 4th and 4. And they actually play cover 2 hard flats. You're like, oh, no, they got hooks, they got flats, I'm screwed. Then you just wait for your tight end to clear the cover 2 on the sidelines, you convert. So basically, it's a 4th and 4, 3rd and 4 conversion against all coverages. And as long as you know how to read it, wheel switch is a great play. But you got to, obviously, like I said, put this hook, put this out here to take advantage of that sideline too. So overall, I do like this play. You might look at this post pattern and be like, yo, is this a good post pattern for the outside receiver? No, it's not. Don't worry about that, little guy. This one, motion fake screen wheel, though. This one could get to a really sensitive area above the hooks, below the deep zones, though. So clear it out, and then there. So I like that normal Y off close. This looks like a man-beating route to the slot, depending how good your slot receiver is. Then we also have trips Y ISO. Nope, that's the wrong one. Trips Y ISO. There it is. Trips Y ISO. We like 4 verticals, always. Good runs, good runs. Do I have any QB runs here? Read option, that's about it. But I liked about this one we can bomb coverage with. It's not the greatest coverage bomb because it's so far out, so it takes a little bit longer. But also, I feel like there was a play in here. I like the bubbles. Usually I highlight stuff because of one play. RPO alert. I think this is kind of like a B- formation. Maybe I just highlighted it as part of the mini scheme that you can use. Trips Y slot offset. Y slot offset. There you are. A lot of good runs here. A lot of ability. Oh, there's the speed option. Love speed options, especially to the strength. That's a good one. You got a lot of blockers ahead of you. Then, they'll block guys, hopefully. Especially in man coverage, they get run off. And then you get an option from there. So I think the speed option is probably why I highlighted this formation along with a lot of other concepts. Obviously, the wheel, very good out of the slot. That one doesn't look good. This running back route, insanely powerful. You can't hot route to this one. Do you see how it's got like that little angle there? That one gets out there and almost no coverages it. Covers it? There it is. Gun wing and Y off tree. Okay, gun wing. We got 2 left. Gun wing. I liked wing because you guys ever play that like under center wing? It's this exact play, this tight end attack, but now you get out a shotgun. So like this tight end beats coverage, man coverage. This one gets into a sensitive spot in the zone. And then like your running back, you could leak it out one way or the other to attack coverage, or you could like push this guy, drag this guy that way. You can do a lot of things out of that. I just wanted to highlight this tight end route and this post pattern. Since this post pattern you can't hot route to, and it's a very nice one. So more problems for your defense. And obviously there's other plays in here to mix up that you want to use too. You just want to like focus on one. PA fork looks like a solid play also. And then we have last one in this playbook is Y off trio week. Y off trio week. We got buck sweep for all the money dough. Okay, that was a solid bucket dough comment, but it didn't make any sense, so therefore it wasn't a good joke. We're gonna go with spot Y seam looking awesome. Look at these verticals and look at this sharp post from an outside receiver. You got a hook here. Spot Y seam. That's a meta play if I've ever seen one. And then we got sticking up. This is old Pats. I mean, sticking up. I don't know if I go sticking up. Now that we have return routes that we can hot route to. Last year, this stuff fed families. Now you can hot route return routes. So shout out to EA for allowing us to put that on any play. But I like this vertical tight end cross. Like they throw cover 2 on your field, they're dead. This might even be able to sneak this under a cover 4, but I'm going to say probably not. And then I like Portland concepts. If this was 2021 and Clint wasn't really bad at his job and took away the ability to be cover 4 with Portland concepts. This fade route and the outside guy, man press killer, dead, touchdown, 40-yard gain, as long as you can throw it correctly. But the only downside of this form is, there's a Y lead read option. Never mind. I was going to say there's no run left, but now that you can read option and follow your Y lead, that's a pretty good formation. So I really like this Y off trio week. This Georgia Southern form is going to be crazy. Okay, next up. It is maybe a little bias. Maybe this needs to be lower on the list. We're going Pitt, baby. The gun bunches. Bunch strong wide. Ready? Once again, we showed this off earlier. These streak routes, awesome. Gun bunch is always going to be meta. The issue with this gun bunch wide, why it's not as powerful as other ones, is this motion route, this orbit, doesn't go up the seam too. So the fact that you can't play off of it, it means it's like a B formation because of clear out being really good and speed option in it. So it's still got quality in it. It's just not like, it would have been an A+ if this actually went up the sideline too. Gun bunch wide. This one's got some motions. I really like this clear out. We talked about this stuff before, but this is wider, so it's a little less powerful in my opinion. But I did want to show that. QB blast. QB blast! Quarterback runs. Utilize them. As long as you're not getting your guys dead. We have gun bunch wide nasty. We got some motion routes into this one will beat man coverage. We then could do like a play off it with an inside zone too, so they can't always expect a pass when you get that motion. That's kind of what I wanted to show. Gun deuce. What else did I like in Pitt? There was many other formations. I said doubles Y off. That Y sail again to get that levels concept. It's crazy. People on my timer complain about Y sail. It's being overpowered. I'm like, a flood concept? Man, we really scraped the bottom of the barrel for complaints there. So this is really cool, though. Motion wheels. And then, like, you have different ways of playing off of it. If you're tight end motioning. Fake jet pass, fake toss, RPOs. A very good ground formation. Empty bunch quads. Nothing really spectacular here. Quads halfback. You then throw, like, RPO bubbles out here with 4 strong. Yes, please. QB draws, which are worse than blasts, in my opinion. Then you have, like, 4 verticals plus a couple drags. So a lot of stuff here. Gun empty trio. Jet, motion, switch, jailbreak screens. What else did I like in Pitt here? This is the one I forgot to write down. The plays that I liked. Speed option is beautiful. Reverse pass. Oh, so this is like another double pass. A reverse pass here. I don't think this one's as good, though. If memory serves correctly, reverse pass was not great compared to the other ones I showed off. For as far as trick plays, tight Y off. Yeah, so some nice tight sets, too, here. Oh, yeah, it is. Motion, fake, toss, wheel. This is great. This is new in 26. Amazing. So, yeah, this formation will feed families, too. So next up, and I think this next one is going to be maybe my day one playbook. And like I said, let me know what kind of ebooks you guys want me to do right away. We'll do one up free for everybody, and then we'll throw it up for like the members on the channel for a lot of other ones. All right, next up, Kansas. Bro, we're gonna rant and rave for a while here. Kansas, doubles Y off. Beautiful. Look at all those motions. Look at these RPOs, read options. I don't know if read options are not the most popular, but motion orbit wide receiver option, motion orbit load option. Beautiful, like gorgeous. And what I like more about this Kansas, not even to it yet. They still have like bunch strong offset. Where are you? Gun bunch strong offset. Wait, did we just do this one? No, we didn't. What were we in? That was doubles Y off. Bunch strong offset. Also incredible. Look through all those plays. We then went to doubles Y off weak. Dude, they're going to have such trouble dealing with you in man coverage on some of these routes. Motion QB, motion jet, QB counter, QB runs. This is why it's going to be my day one, dude. QB runs plus motions in the same playbook, in the same formation. They won't know what hit them. We then have next, even more, dude. Empty base is awesome. Same motions we talked about into plays. And then we have, jet power read off that motion. So quarterback run. I don't know if I love the pulling linebacker or pulling lineman. Sometimes that can be exploited on 5 wide runs, but we'll see how it plays in this year's game. Empty Y off trips is awesome too for jet QB counter and jet QB power. So you can go either way with it or hand it off to the jet touch pass. You can run it like a load option with these guys too. And like even the motion will screw them out because you can pass out of it too. So I like the 5 wide nonsense you can pull out of Kansas. And then Kansas also has... Oh, wow. Okay, not that. Trips Y slot strong. Y slot. Hang on, I'm having trouble seeing it. There it is. Y slot strong. What do I like about this one? Oh, halfback draw, slip screen, or wheelies. Yes. This wheelie, double wheel routes, and like the middle of the field is going to be open for all your shenanigans. Beautiful. You got a running back. And then obviously the other things you can pull out of here. sprint right smash. We'll see if sprint rights are good this year. They've been okay, and I feel like they're going to be good this year, but I don't know. This stuff beats cover 3 match, right? Shock. It did last year. I don't know if it might have changed it for this year, though. You know, sometimes they patch up one-play beaters that are really good. Wing trio. These are all new, too. Look at that. Dude, Craigasm on all these motions. All these RPO peak Y pops. Alert screen. Power read toss. Last form. Wing trips weak. Whoops. Yeah. Auto motions are bae. This one, look at this. Auto motion comes back to the middle. Auto motion, but it flies to the sideline. Auto motion, but you can you hand it off? Is there a jet? Oh, there's no jet. Just outside, so it's just fake. Halfback off tackle. Inside zone split. So, good, better passing kind of stuff with some of his wheels. But yeah, overall, Kansas is going to be number 1. So even though I might be in Kansas day 1, it's kind of crazy. I still got 3 more playbooks that I like better than it, or at least look better than it on paper. But let's get to it. Number 3, this is for a long time. Boston College. I think right. Well, there's another Boston one, boy. Yeah. I just have Boston written down, like Boston. What about day when you need? Okay. Normal Y off. Yeah, normal Y off is part of it. The reason why I like normal Y off is a little bit of something you guys have seen a lot. Motion PA wheel slot, bing, 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 bada boom, bada boom. We've seen this. This is kind of like a tight end weird, like a snap return route, snap flat route. More of that kind of stuff. So a lot of pre-snap auto motion trying to get open, plus the RPO, a little snag action with double snags and the double slant to the backside. Gotta love that. Slot options are fine routes. I just don't really trust them, but they can work quite a bit. So we've got a slot snag right here along with the curls lead swing. Overall, like there's some decent unique routes here that provide you some like curl flats. This looks really nice, right? Like this is a great 3rd and 4 conversion, right? This one gets to a weird spot. This is just a regular curl and an out route. You don't even got a hot route, nothing. Maybe I would like hot route this guy to a flat depending on the space between these two, but this one's good to delay because in case they blitz, then you have 4 options, then one of them's getting open. And no matter like what coverage they're in. Cover 4, this guy or this guy's open. Cover 3, same way. If it's a blitz, it'll obviously open. Cover 2, you got to hit this streak. So overall, great short yardage conversions, great just mix them up all around with auto motion to beat man coverage motions. All right, next up off Boston, long time foreplay, tight flex. I really liked here out of this one. So one of the better tight formations in the game because motion eagles mesh spot. Beautiful. Now the problem is it's your running back. So it's like a weird thing. Like you don't love that the running backs like over here. You'd love it for this to be a receiver, so that way you still have the threat of the run because you're basically giving away what you're doing with the running back here. But overall, like you might be able to get some solid yardage. More like this is I guess when you go like this, more of like a 5 wide scheme because you can always change the running backs. Like this is like a 5 wide everybody tight scheme. You don't really see that often. In the game, so I like that because you don't have to keep on the auto motion. So that's like a brand new formation in the formation, man. It's like the nesting doll of formations. So then we have also tight slot open. Oh man, you guys need to know I've won 1,000 Madden games just running tight slot open. Now this is not the best tight slot open in the game. Only 4 playbooks have it. Iowa's the best, but the rest of Iowa book is so tragic. Halfback direct snap's really good, though. And then it's got the DIY direct snap reverse, do it yourself, which is also a really powerful play. But then, like, the rest of the Iowa book, I'm like, blah. So, sadly, but I like, right, slot posts. This fade route is God, right? I'm not going to say I brought it into the meta, but me running this over and over for years, and then last year, all of a sudden, everybody's realized the power of this fade pattern. Like, dang, Fox, you're ahead of the meta, buddy. They got an RPO, draw, and a quick base, so not the greatest of runs because they're all going right to left. But then you got like a lot of other things you do. There's a speed out here. Again, those snag routes that are really unique there. Got a wheel route there out of the slot. So a lot of neat things you can do with this formation just based off the alignment, the hot routes you can do, and the standard routes there that are rare to get. So off of that, Boston, I love that. They had some nice unbalanced ones too. So what was the unbalanced one? Was it wing trips? Yeah. So this stuff like people might be confused. The problem is like the game doesn't get confused. IRL, if you run an unbalanced formation, the team might not know what to do. They might not be prepped for it. But in this game, it's all hard-coded rules, and I really haven't seen an unbalanced formation be powerful outside of some glitches. So while it is neat, while it's kind of cool stuff in here, I wouldn't say anything is like, it doesn't look OP to me unless there's some major glitch, which can happen. There could be a major glitch, especially man coverage. They could just like get their coverages swapped and you have a guy free running down every time they try and play man. That could happen. I don't know yet. Why off trio close? That's why we play the game. Why off trio close? This is the other one, the last one of the Boston one. Again, God tier auto motions. God tier. Not only do you have this return, but then you have the one up the sideline too. So they can't just like stick a guy over there in a deep quarter and take care of you, because guess what? And all of a sudden he's useless because you guys got guys coming across the field. And then you have a fade route here. Man, fade me hardcore. I love me some fades. So very unique routes, a big deep C route, an outside fade. That's not that powerful. But then you got an 0-1 trap, counter, inside, motion inside zone. The only problems, like if this had like a jet sweep, that'd be even cooler. But like a lot of inside the motion and stuff. But otherwise, there you go. That is Boston, my number 3 playbook. That tight slot open. I am a fan, if you guys have not noticed. My number 2 is probably the most meta playbook without a doubt on day one. I see everybody talking about this Bowling Green playbook. I mean, you can just look at the names of some of the sets and recognize some of the like the big hitters from like last year's Madden 25, College 25 is like the meta. Not only have bunch offset with their bubble screen, the RPOs, some of the stuff 4 vertical, some of that's a little bit worse than you'd hope. But then you got gun bunch spread. That one's kind of whatever. Gun bunch strong offset. Not the best one, but it does have this fade route with this corner route, and that's a god tier play. Like to see that. Gun bunch tight end. Gun bunch tight end in it too. And gun bunch tight end has, I would not say, this is probably like a C. Or maybe one of the worst gun bunch tight ends in the game from what I've seen on all of the other gun bunch tight ends. So yeah, maybe not the best gun bunch tight end. It's got some plays in it though. Gun doubles halfback weak. Nope. That's fine. Empty base flex. QB draw is not that good, so I don't think people will be in that. Empty's not good. If you're going to go 5 wide, I think that Kansas 5 wide was a lot better. There's also was it an Army or one of them military ones had like an interesting academy 5 wide too. It only had like 6 plays in it, but the 6 plays were kind of cool looking. Normal Y off, yeah, normal Y off with the jet. The exit slot option, I like those auto motions, strong flood, the snag routes we just talked about in the last book, Y off close. This one is audible too, so that's not as important, but then you have like wheels, posts. Y sail, great play, wheel switch. Oh, this one, this PA shot. Oh, these are really unique routes. I think you'll see this. This is new in 26. This one, it just feels like it gets to a really good place in the field. I don't know if it does or what it does, but it seems like the way this route moves could really destroy a lot of the coverages. I don't know if it's going to get between the safeties and cover 4. We'll find out, but cover 2 was dead against this. So overall, a really good job on this field. And right here at a mesh spot too. Look at that, the fade route. Gun slot right weak. Some motions. Nothing looks crazy here if I recall correctly. Spread double flex. Spread Y flex. Let's just keep going through each one of them. We're going to go fast. Trio right open. All curls, baby. For the girls. This running back route, powerful. 4 verticals, always great. Nothing too crazy so far in this play book that I'm seeing, at least these formations. Then we have what? Trips offset. I kind of like the way this one beats coverage on the middle of the field. It's right here also, 4 verticals. Oh, like I said, that wheel route to the running back behind 4 verticals, always great. Speed option, love to see that. So you can run the ball right, run the ball left, keep them balanced, the RPOs. QB slot options, beautiful. That used to be super powerful. But now that we see a lot more slot options and a lot more options in this game, people might be more used to it, so it's not going to catch people as off guard. I don't know if the short post here, wide receiver short post, this used to be really good like 3 Maddens ago. But it stops running like halfway across the field, so it stopped being good. It's sad that they nerfed it. I don't know why they do that. Instead of giving us more counters to it, they decided to just like randomly nerf things. Was that an unbalanced formation? Motion stick wheel, motion halfback swing. The triple slant. That's how people get a lot of likes by posting that on Twitter. We talked about this formation. I don't know how many books ago. I don't know, like 5 books ago. Who else had it? And the gun wing. The gun wing was in Georgia Southern's also. The tight end attack. We see this from under center, but very unique route right here. Allows you to beat man here. And this one, I think, torched man. Depending on how good your receiver is, will really torch it. So this is a good formation. Speed option right, inside zone left, so you can attack both sides of the defense with the run. Sprint out smash could be really good, depending on how much the tackle, the double team takes with this one. But like you have a lot of guys over here. You then have gun wing offset, similar PA tight end attack, sprint. I feel like there's one over that I'm missing. That a lot of things. Oh, okay, here we go. Y off trips with the double post. This backside post is great. The running back route. Because, like, right? I said sharp angles from outside receivers. You guys, I feel like I'm saying the same things over and over. They're fine. Halfback zone toss. That's a great one. To attack to the right. Get out there, sprint fast. Get out there behind, like, 3 extra blockers. Then you can also... run a counter, outside zone to the left, inside zone that way also, depending on which one's good. This one could get to a sensitive area of the field in this PA boot to get over the linebackers and under the deep safeties. Halfback swing. Halfback swings are all right. You just telegraph too much. So I figure like when I ever throw a halfback swing, I always call like this play first, right? Because like their user is gonna run with the halfback swing, and that's when you hit like the cross or the slant behind it overall. So that's why I always do this one first. So it's kind of a mind game because if they don't go with it, then you throw the running back behind the motion halfback swing is really powerful. If they don't go with it, as long as you end it. Okay, so overall, Bowling Green's got a lot of love. So I think it's my number 2 because of the love it's getting. I think I would like, maybe like thinking back on it more, maybe I do like Kansas and Boston a little bit better than Bowling Green, but you're going to see Bowling Green a ton due to some of those meta formations I showed off. But my number 1 with a gun. He's got a gun. It is Georgia Tech, right? We did Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern was number 6. Georgia Tech, though, is number 1. Bro, you guys are going to get your mind blown here. There's so much good stuff. All right, we're just going to start with doubles. Doubles. Counter bash. Don't know if it's good, but it's cool looking. Fake jet pass power. Jet touch pass, and then it looks like you're powering with your quarterback. You know how much I love quarterback runs. Yes, right? We eat a lot of Taco Bell before games to get more quarterback runs. Orbit QB power RPO. Orbit RPO read Y flat. Oh, orbit, then Y stick to do the pass plays off it. PA zone read. This play's been like okay in the past. It really depends on how well this outside crosser route does. I really love this fade here. So a lot of great stuff just in the force formation doubles, right? And I think like Madden previously and was always a condensed game because it's so easy to attack the sidelines and take advantage of CPUs. But now with the switch stick, attacking the sideline is like a quick corner switch stick over, and you kind of take it away and get interceptions now. You don't see nearly as many people attacking sidelines. It's all about spacing now, checking down the drags, flats, hitting guys with the middle, underneath things, stuff that are hard to like switch stick to against cover 4. So a lot more of these spread formations are viable, especially in college football where it's very viable with how much the field is spread apart. Double Y off weak. Double Y off weak. Doubles Y off weak is great. RPO jet read Y. Okay. Oh, here it is. I was wondering what's going on, dude. Motion stick wheel, post pattern, slant, hook, Yeah, I like the runs. I really do. Okay, next up, empty ace. This is empty, dude. QB runs, QB jet counter, QB zone that way. You can do the jet touch pass, QB zone weak, and then you have the runs off of it, and the passes off of it too that you can run with the same jet motion. And then he's got an outside slant there. If you're a 5-wide fiend, I don't know if you are, but it's there for you if you are. Then we have normal Y off right here. Okay. What did I like here? This one's fine. Jet touch pass again. So a lot of motion verticals. That's an interesting one because you're motioning over for the power read, motioning over, then running verticals behind it. Verticals are always nice if you got to attack deep. Zone jet fake. Is there no zone? Oh yeah, there is a jet touch though, so you can fake it or touch. But generally the fake isn't as good. Jackets QB wrap. Yes. More quarterback runs. Not as powerful as the other formations though. Normal Y-offs okay. Georgia gun split twins. There's also like other. Here's the thing. I show the gun split twins, but there's other split ones here too that you can run. Split offset if you want to run. Dude, remember a couple years ago in Madden where you'd throw this route with like angry runs on and then you just score? So like these routes still work. It's still good, but the reason I'm going this is specifically because it feels like they're more powerful and some of them are new in 26. And I think they do look really, really good. And like, so it feels like I'm only scratching the surface of so many of these playbooks. But like, look at all these double motion RPOs, triple lead option. Your opponent's gonna like not know which way to the field because a lot of people are gonna be spamming the man blitzes or heavy blitzes at you. So being able to not only attack the field vertically with some of these routes, but also attacking it horizontally, getting into open space and getting the ball into your playmaker's hands is gonna be a big thing, not only in football, it's reality, but overall, all right, here's split twins. If you want to run similar stuff, but in a different form, this one doesn't look as good, but it all comes out looking kind of similar with the split backs. Obviously a little bit different, but it looks similar, and that's important for a scheme is to look similar to your opponent, and they hit them completely different spaces. Trips, just straight up gun trips. Yup. Motion wheelies. We've seen gun trips in other ones. Motion wheelies, very good. Motion slot screen. Wow. I wonder if that'll be good. Screens are sometimes good, sometimes terrible. Quarterback slot option. RPO bubble power. Weak. I do not trust option routes to receivers. That one's not that good. Yeah, so some fun. Like you can basically put an entire scheme just based off motion wheelies. It's not as powerful because the motion doesn't like come wrap back around and stuff. Trips formation, and then wing slot offsets. My last one here out of this. Jet halfback cross screen. You have jet power read with your. Is that a quarterback running? QB count, yeah. So you can QB run up the middle, QB run to the left. Scissors smash, shallow mills. I don't know if this route is going to be good. I feel like it's not. This route hasn't been good in Madden for like, oh man, was that 21? I really like this route. It burned man coverage deep when man coverage did. And like, this is the reason why I put this in. Shift jet power read where they shift all their guys over, then you run behind it. Or they shift jet touch pass the other way. It's just ridiculous. I don't know if it's going to be good in an online environment, but they look fun, man. They're new plays. They look fun. They could cause some trouble from some people until they realize, here's the thing. Having all three of them, you can run either way. That's great. That really is. Okay, so that's my 10-1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.